the earliest purchases I made from an auction with regards to antique old stuff were these lights. So these are old lights from an old probably theatre or maybe an old movie studio, and they are, oh, that's not plugged in, but so basically when I got this whole thing, it was rusty and dull, so I took it all apart. I got each of these pieces polished by a metal polisher friend in England, and put it back together now. And the thing cost me about $80, 80 pounds.
So how many of these have you brought at home?
I got 2 of these, which are a matching pair, which is kind of cool because it means you can kind of use them like we've done here to set either side of a stage. And
A stage.
they were like around 80 bucks, 85 pounds for the pair, but they weren't in this condition. So they were very dull, they didn't work. The wiring was the old original wiring, which still had asbestos in it. You know, once upon a time, they didn't understand how bad asbestos can be for humans.
Did you replace these as well?
Yeah, I had to get new glasses, and so that's why this glass doesn't quite match this one, because this one was the original, and that one's a replacement.
Light, camera,
Lights, camera, action.
action.
That's the one.
That's the one.
So this is, this is one that I restored and rewired. So I originally rewired it for England, so we used to use them in our lounge room in England, and then of course coming to the US with 110 volts instead of 220, I had to rewire the whole thing again, put a new light fixture, light and cabling and plug on. And the same thing I did to that other one in the other corner, which is, this is a spot. So you can see that the shape of the lens cone is very circular and the glass is very thick without any ribbing. So this gives a very, have a look. Can you shine on me and see? This gives a very defined circular spot, a spotlight of light.
Yeah, like this.
And this is, this is one of my favorites, but it's not as practical as a lounge room light because of the fact that the beam is very concentrated. So, it's great when I'm working from home, I can sit on the sofa and that kind of lights up the keyboard for when I have to work in the evening, which, we all do sometimes.
So when Ross brought those lights home originally, they looked really dirty and rusty and old, and I said there is no way these lamps will ever end up in our interior. And there we are. I absolutely love them now. They are unique. They are sort of, well, I wouldn't say quirky, but they're definitely industrial. They create this industrial look about the place, and certainly became part of the interior.
Following on from the, that kind of movie, TV, film theme, I am also very interested in movies and the artwork that came with them, like for advertising. And these posters I've been picking up over the years. I just love the artwork on them. And, because the idea of this, and this is obviously all before computers and pop-up ads and Facebook with, ads bombarding you left, right and center. This is how they used to get your attention to make you want to go and see something. So they had to make it as eye-catching as possible to kind of set the theme of what the movie's about, and that Mars Attacks actually happens to be one of my favorite films.
Mars Attacks.
And it's very cool. Jack Nicholson plays 2 different characters in this one, and it's
Glenn
funny.
Close. This is Glenn Close. Pierce Brosnan and Danny DeVito. Yeah.
So that's fairly modern. This one is, from the 70s, and it's, you could tell typically like some of the hairstyles, plus Earthquake, it was all about the San Andreas fault kind of thing. This one I love because of the groovy, almost kind of gothic artwork. And also it's quite old, this is from the late 70s, early to late 70s. Actually, I had a date there somewhere. Oh yeah, MXL 1950. Oh, okay. Well, there you go. It's actually from 82. And then while I was searching for this old movie stuff, a lot of listings came up at auctions. Again, it's all auctions. For these old 8x10 prints, stills from famous movies and stuff. And I was always a big fan of Tarzan, so I've got a couple of the Tarzan prints from one of the many Tarzan movies, but that's from the 60s. And then, comedy is my favourite genre, I guess, and the great comedians of the time, Abbott and Costello, the Three Stooges, Laurel and Hardy. I don't have any Laurel and Hardy, but I got a bunch of Abbott and Costello ones, which are just really cool. This is another beauty. Look at this, you beauty. This is, this is one of my favourites. So basically, it's a lovely old gumball machine, and one of the things that makes this one special and kind of rare is that it was designed to take 1 cent pieces, like American pennies, and 5 cent pieces. And so the idea is you put a 1 cent piece in and you get 1 rotation and the ball comes out. You put 5 cents in and you get 5 rotations and you get 5 gumballs out. And I couldn't wait to try it out, so I bought a bunch of gumballs off eBay, and as yummy as they are, I got 3 pounds of gumballs that are too big to go out the hole.
Oh, let me show you what he got.
Yeah, I got 3 pounds of gumballs, thinking that, all would be good. And 3 pounds is just enough to fill that container up, but of course the gumballs, like I said, just a tiny bit too large. This is what 3 pound of 1 inch cherry gumballs looks like. Have one, they're nice. I'm gonna have one too. I guess I have to buy more gumballs, a little bit smaller than New Jersey, and you feel like a gumball, you know where to gumball.
This is my favorite piece of furniture. I can't believe it's actually in our living room. We had a bit of a kind of, not a fight, but a bit of an argument about having this in our living room. The only reason I agreed that this will become part of the interior is if eventually, when maybe one day we get a much bigger house, this will move to Ross's man cave. Yeah, that's it.
Got here to the US. I had to wait like 7 months before I could get my work visa, and so kind of to kill time, I guess, I thought up different ways of entertaining myself, and so I found this online in an auction, and I bid something ridiculous like $29 or something. I got it for. And it was a little bit, there was a couple of things I had to do to it, but generally speaking, it was, in working condition. And so got an old casino at home now, basically. It's really cool. It's got this little video screen up here, which kind of shows a second story, which you can also win prizes on. But yeah, let's go. I want it to light up and show you.
You're crazy.
¡Oh, Panyamas! Yeah. Come on. If we were at a real casino, we would have moved to another machine by now.